So most people go through life and they kind of have a feel for how they're doing financially, but they don't know. They don't know if they're saving enough. They don't know if they should lease or buy. They don't know if they should finance or pay off the house, or if they should contribute to 401k. So they don't know if they're optimizing their resources. The financial plan, you know all the time if you're optimizing it or not. That's what we do, we keep track of it. And there's a lot of research that demonstrates that people who have a financial plan make more money, pay less in fees, take less risk, and are more successful, and they sleep better at night.
People underestimate what they could do in a decade, but overestimate what they could do in a year.
And that's where we come in, is when things start getting a little bit more complicated and they need help navigating the financial world, whereas maybe before they didn't really need help, because it does tend to get more complex the more successful you get in life. So if you need us, it means that you've done well.
Financial planning is central to what we do.
And it's far too important to try to just do it yourself.
A lot of people think that a financial advisor's job is to pick investments.
There's a lot of different ways you could invest your money.
The problem with that is investing is a commodity. You don't need to pay an advisor for that. A financial plan takes that behavior component, which a lot of people don't need, but then they add something that most people don't even know they're missing, and that is what's called tax alpha. If you are looking at your returns on investments and you're not looking at options that can have an impact on taxes, then you're not getting anywhere near the performance that you could get.
You'd be surprised at how much you could change the future of your kids, your grandkids, your church, your charity with careful planning, and it's meaningful. So if we're dealing with a meaningful amount of money, careful planning could make an enormous difference. I have to tip my hat to the direction dollars are flowing these days, because more and more people are letting their dollars communicate their values.
When I meet with individuals, the biggest thing that I find is everybody, what's most important to them is what matters.
We want to find the best fit for their needs.
There's a lot of ways that you can make a good return and feel good about how you're investing your money.
So not just explaining what it is we can do, but integrating that with what they actually want to do, because everybody's goals are different.
So part of our job is to have their investments match what they truly want and believe.
And concentrating the assets on investments.
And for us, investments are just tools. We're investment agnostic. And there's lots of tools in lots of different ways, and depending on who you are and your background and your skills and how much time you have, we want whatever we do to complement whatever you do.
You know, we got tons of places to put money, but what does the clients need?
What is important to them, what makes them tick.
So we want to take the approach of finding out what their goals are and what they actually want, and then we can train them on some of the ways that they could accomplish those goals using the tools that we have.
They have families, they have kids, they have vacations, they have things that they want to do. You know, there's so many things that we all aspire for. My hope is to figure out what's important to them.
It's like a family. We really strive to take every detail into account.
So there really is an absolute commitment to putting the client first.
I feel valued. We don't just look at you big picture and throw you in a bucket, but we really try to customize things so that we're understanding the details that fit into your financial picture. Not just your financial picture, but I think just your life.
Too many firms are driven by the dollar, and the contracts they get, the products they offer are the ones that pay the most money. And those usually aren't the ones that are best for the client.
Things can be different. There actually is a company called Everspire that is different. It's so dramatically different, you're not going to believe it unless you actually look under the hood and kick the tires and experience it.
You can believe his answer. It's not just for his bottom line, it's for your bottom line.
We're not driven by commission. We're genuine.
He wants me to succeed.
I can talk about the differences all day long, but until you sit down with us and experience it, it's going to be difficult to grasp that a company can add this much value to your life.
We truly take our responsibility as a fiduciary to the utmost.
Everspire is a company that you can really trust. They care about you, they care about your investments, they care about your future and your needs, and they want to do right by you.
And so there really is an absolute commitment to putting the client first.
That's what drives us. We pull our hair out when we see some of the things that other advisors recommend and do. And I can go on with stories and stories and nightmares. People get talked into things because they sound good, but they don't look at the details until after the fact. Other broker-dealers put limits on their advisors, and they don't allow for the advisor to truly take care of the client.
We're really able to help a lot of people through a lot of different things that I don't think I've ever been able to do before coming here.
To take care of the client, you need to provide all the services. And that's what I love about Everspire is as our own broker-dealer, we have that opportunity to give them everything. Having the opportunity to really offer everything.
People are willing to help out, and everyone's goal is to make sure the client has a good experience. And so whatever needs to happen, people step up and do it. It's pretty awesome. I think it's really different. I think it's kind of a unique little animal that has been created here, because not only do we have a really strong investment side, there's also a financial planning side, and then there's also the broker-dealer side. So it's kind of aimed to bring all of those things which are generally separated into different companies into one house.
The collaborative atmosphere where we do work together and the different strengths that many of us have, and how we complement each other's strengths and weaknesses. There's a saying, Benjamin Franklin actually said this, that investment in knowledge actually pays the best interest. And when we're here and we're working together and we are using each other's knowledge and experiences for the benefit of our clients, it's a pretty powerful thing. We work with a lot of executives, a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people who really are very successful individuals.
I've always considered myself an educator. I love to teach people. I love to teach people what insurance is all about. Teach them what they can do with this much to turn it into that much for their family.
It's where we're able to really provide a lot of value.
So I would say that the educational approach takes the form of helping them see what they have first, and then explaining to them what they can do with it, and explaining how things like accounting and financial planning and taxes and investments all work together for their benefit.
So I love the teaching aspect, and that's where it comes to teaching the client. Not selling them, not marketing, but just helping them understand. And then, does it fit into their plan? Does it fit into what they want to accomplish?
You've got a team of people working with you to help you get where you want to go.
At Everspire, I feel like the weight has been lifted off my shoulder. We don't have to answer to anybody. All we have to do is do good work, and people will pay us for that. And we're not benchmarking our profitability against our peers or any, we just get to do good work, and it feels so good.
And I really do believe that in the long run, 10 times out of 10, you'll make more money by doing what's right for other people. And plus, who wants to live feeling like you took advantage of other people?
My meaning from my role in the firm comes from preserving a culture that puts people first. I love being able to have the influence in the organization where we don't have to compromise that.
I always wanted to do something that would be meaningful or leave an impact, but also making a meaningful difference in the lives of other people and getting paid to do it. I get paid to help people, and that's very much aligned with my interests and how I spend my free time.
It doesn't matter how smart you are or how wealthy you are or how good your team of attorneys and financial advisors are, until you can experience something that is this dramatically different than what the industry has offered you. I would just invite you to take a look, because it truly is different.